guys, welcome to Cooking with Casey. I hope you all had a happy new year. This is Dane Wilson. He's with Lender's Choice Credit Solution, and here in a little bit he's going to give you all some tips on how to boost your credit.
Yep.
So I am the hungry realtor, so you know I'm hungry, so I'm going to cook.
Yep.
I'm
so hungry now
feed
too.
myself. We're going to be making baked potato soup tonight, and so I have some ingredients. I've already prepped a few things, so it may look a little bit faster than what it normally is. Just waiting on my pan to heat up. I'm gonna put a little bit of olive oil in there. And I'm also going to go find the live video so Dane can answer any questions or let us know what questions you have.
Perfect. Feel free to join in and ask your questions down at the bottom. I have my phone here so I can respond to any questions that you have.
I just gotta find it on here.
There you go. I got it pulled up here too.
Oh, nice.
So wave or say that you're here so we know.
Say hello.
Say hello.
Who we have so far? So Patricia Langley. Hey Patricia, how are you doing tonight? Sorry you can't see me yet. I'll be there in just a second. All right. Let me turn my sound off so it doesn't echo.
Yeah, I did that too.
When I did one before, it was there was a delay. So hopefully
I think there is a little bit of a delay.
So if there's a delay, we're sorry. So tonight we're doing, oh, hey Brandy, how are you? I used to work with Brandy a while back. And hey Jeremy, hey Jared, hey, oh Noah, I'm using Noah's login. He's not actually on there. So sorry, didn't mean to say hi.
But he's listening.
I used to be a manager at Razoo, so some of these people used to work for me that are
cool.
logging in. So they're super cool. Oh, look, your dad's watching. Hey, Lyndon.
Love
So we are doing baked potato soup. So I'm going to show you what all we're using tonight, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Once this heats up, I'm going to put some bacon in. And this is actually a whole package. It doesn't look like that much whenever it's cooked.
Or whenever it's all that.
For sure I could eat all that. We also have some chicken stock we're going to use. We have some heavy whipping cream. So last week I did a keto-friendly pizza. This is not keto-friendly, guys. So if you're watching for keto-friendly, I'm sorry. Maybe next week.
Yeah.
I actually don't do keto. I just do low carb.
Yeah.
But on Wednesdays I eat carbs like Mean Girls Wear Pink.
I eat anything.
I also have some baked potatoes that I cooked earlier today and cooled off. So you want to cool them off and peel them after they're cooled because I don't really know. Oh, because when they get soft, they're not going to hold together when you put them into the soup. Yeah, so that's why it's good to cool them off. And you can if you have leftover baked potatoes, this is great for that as well. So,
I need to take notes. I'll just watch this video back.
Absolutely, you should. So we also have some baby carrots, and this is like half a bag that I'm going to use. So probably about a pound, I would say, that we're going to put in here. And we're not going to put those in their whole. I'm going to show y'all a trick to what I do. We have some sharp cheddar cheese. We're going to use that. I have some green onions too. We're going to garnish, and I'm going to show you how you can regrow these after you cut them.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
And then I also have some garlic and some flour. So you'll see how this will go. Yeah, it's actually a fairly simple recipe. I have about 8 potatoes here. It was actually a 5-pound bag, but if they don't all fit in here, I won't use them all. I'll just use them later. I usually make this in like a big pot because I normally make it for a large crowd. So, but I don't want to have a bunch of leftovers because I wasted a lot of food last week.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happened, but it just did. So let me turn this down a little bit. So, oh guys, by the way, I also got my new cookware. This is Pioneer Woman, and it was on the Black Friday sale for $59.
Grabbed it.
So actually, Noah's mom got me that for Christmas as part of my Christmas gift. She's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she doesn't have Facebook, or I would totally shout her out. Okay,
just tell her.
this might pop a little. Okay, no, we're good. So, anyways, these are super nice. I love them already. It also came with like a cast iron skillet and some cool little bowls and stuff. So, I was really surprised at how much was in there for the price.
It's a good deal.
So, I'm going to cook this up until it gets like just done because I'm actually gonna take some out so you can garnish, so we can garnish with it later.
Okay.
So you use it twice.
Cool.
Use it in the recipe and then on the top of the recipe too. So while we're doing that, I need to do the drawing, and I did not put them in the wheel again.
Uh-oh.
So my ADD showing. Let me go and grab the list really quick. Dane, give them some credit tips.
Okay, so I'm here for the credit tips because I don't know how to cook. If you're starting off the new year and you're trying to get your credit in order, kind of a self-evaluation is a good place to start and kind of figure out where you're at. Focus on building as much positive payment history as you can. So if you don't have any open credit cards right now, look into doing that. You can go to our website and I'll drop the link. And we have a link where you can apply for a secured credit card if you need to, or an unsecured credit card if you can get approved for an unsecured credit card. And just you want to build as much positive payment history as you can. If you don't have any open accounts or just one or two, that's a good place to start. Make sure all your balances are low. I always say that's easier said than done, especially after Christmas. Most of us are maxing out credit cards and stuff like that, but work on paying your credit card balances down. That'll help a lot. If you have, negative information on your credit report, late payments, collections, things like that, companies like ours, are happy to help with that. But the main thing is to make sure that you're building positive payment history. It's okay to have a little bit of negative on there as long as you have positive as well. Where people get into trouble is maybe they went through a rough time in the past and they had some collections or late payments or whatever the case may be, student loan issues, and then it kind of scares them from doing anything moving forward. They don't want to go apply for a new credit card or do anything because they're afraid they'll get back into that position. But until you start to rebuild, your scores are just going to stay low.
Yes. I went through credit repair, and I did not have a cool guy like Dane to do it. Sorry y'all can't see me, but I'll be back in just a second so we can do our drawing while the bacon is cooking. I'm totally out of the picture. How many is that? 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, 4. Okay, that's right. Okay. So I went through credit repair myself, so I'm super passionate about helping people go through that, even if they're not buying a home, if they're just wanting to buy a car. Get your credit up where it gets, because no one told me when I was younger that it was my livelihood. You have to have good credit. And you don't know how much money you're wasting by having bad credit unless you have good credit. Because then you're like, oh wow, I had a 17% interest rate on my car. When I built my credit back up, I was able to get it up. Now my interest rate is like 6%, which is pretty decent for a car when I refinance. So, that is always good. And it is hard to keep your balances low, especially at Christmas. So Jeremy says he
Miss what we're making tonight.
So we're making baked potato soup. I started with a pound of bacon, which is my favorite. If you guys are not watching for the first time, then you'll know that I use bacon a lot.
I love bacon.
It's so good. It makes everything better.
Everybody loves bacon.
Everybody loves bacon.
You could just stop now and it would be good.
Yeah, you don't even have to throw anything in there. So I'm gonna cook it until it's done. It doesn't have to be crispy or anything. And it might take a couple minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to take some out to use as a garnish. And then I also have some shredded cheese, heavy cream, carrots. I can go ahead and get those going while the bacon's cooking, as long as Dane promises not to let it burn. Don't let the bacon burn.
Okay, I'll try.
Okay, so these carrots, I'm going to puree them so that way the kids don't know they're in there. So I just put them into
sneak in the healthy stuff around the
blender.
bacon.
And because if it's baked potato soup, you don't really want like chunks of potatoes in there. So
I don't know that I've ever had baked potato soup.
No,
it's good. No, I don't know.
It's really good. It's kind of your basic potato soup recipe, but you just put bacon and cheese and because you can make it. You could start with butter and you could just put cream in there and potatoes, and that means some chicken stock, and there's your potato soup. Some people put celery, just your own preferences, I guess. So I just put the carrots into the blender. Hopefully y'all can see that. It's about a pound, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of water in there so that way it will be able to move up and all liquefy together. So, did everybody have a good New Year's? Did y'all, is everybody fully recovered that's watching? I was telling Dane earlier that I got drunk off of 3 glasses of champagne on accident. I was like, oh yeah, I know my limit, I'm good.
Didn't see that coming.
No, didn't see that coming. Just
That's
wanna-
for
Absolutely.
It's a good blender. Ninja.
Yeah, Ninjas are a good blender, and
They're the best.
it has a little cup that goes on there too for like
Uh-huh.
when I make smoothies or shakes or whatever. All right, so got the bacon is cooking, it's browning. So I also, I don't think I showed y'all, but I have some onions here that go in the recipe as well. So once the bacon gets crispy and I take some out, then I'll put those down in there, and the carrots will go in there too. Let's go ahead and do the drawing for last week. Also, the drawing for next week for anybody who likes Lender's Choice Credit Solutions and Real Estate by Casey.
Awesome.
And shares the video. Make sure when you share the video that you make it public, because otherwise I can't see who shared it from your page, because we might not be friends.
Yep.
So please do those things and you'll be entered in for next week. Last week's drawing was for this goodie bag over here, and it's got a cool little 3-minute devotional for young moms. Really, the ladies are gonna like it more than the guys. There's a bracelet, there's a gift card to Starbucks.
Sorry, all the people in the drawing are ladies. So
They're all
that's
ladies,
perfect.
exactly. And then just some other stuff in there too. So we just kind of threw some stuff together for you last week because that was for you. So this week's drawing is for the goodie bag. Next week's drawing for anybody who likes our business pages and shares this video will be entered to win a $30 Visa gift card that Dane here donated for the cause. Okay, so let's get it going. Click to spin. And I think last week I figured out how to make this full screen, but I just didn't do it today. All right, this week's winner is Melissa Richardson. That's my mom, and it's her birthday today.
Nice. Perfect.
Happy birthday, Mom.
That's your
Now I don't
gift.
have to get you a gift.
That worked out perfect.
All right,
Funny.
so I would say this, well, let's let it cook a little bit longer. There's a lot of good bacon fat in here.
You know, when you watch cooking shows, they always say the one thing the viewer misses out on is the smell. You don't get to smell how good it smells.
Oh, yeah.
So bacon smells delicious.
Exactly. It always smells delicious all the time. Okay, so let me get some of this so whenever I do, I just put, like to kind of, I'm going to use all that fat that's in there, but whenever I take the bacon out, I want to drain it.
Yeah.
And I just use a paper towel on a plate to kind of soak up some of the grease.
Yeah.
So the bacon is, I mean, I would call that like it's cooked. It's
good
not
to know.
raw anymore, so we're gonna take it out. All right. So also with this, even though it's baked potato soup, you're gonna put the potatoes in the very last. Like you're gonna get everything else going.
They don't need to be in there that long, or
Well, so you can let them simmer for a little bit, but you don't want to let them simmer for too long because they're going to fall apart. So if you want pieces of potatoes in there, then go ahead and put those in. So I'm just going to add oh look, I left some bacon over here, but it's too late now. Actually, we'll just throw this in there. It'll be fine since it's all going to cook anyway. Then I'm just going to put the carrots down in there. With it, I'll show you guys what it looks like here in just a second. Mom, so my mom just tuned in. Did you see that you won our drawing? And I said happy birthday to you, and that's your gift. So, good job, Mom, for sharing my video last week. Last week we got 8 shares on the video when the week before we got 11, and so we're just kind of growing.
I'm going to make sure we get a bunch of shares.
Yeah, absolutely. Get people to share. All right, so now that's going. You're just going to wait until the carrots get a little bit soft. And so since we pureed them, it shouldn't take very long because they're smaller. While that's working, I'm going to add the garlic, and it's probably just going to be about we'll just use it's going to be a half a tablespoon tonight. So y'all know I don't measure stuff, but I'm trying really hard for you.
Just so y'all know, I offered to help. I just don't know what I'm doing, so she said.
And he's also like got a cold or something, and I'm not trying to eat after that.
Well, it's just allergies. It's just allergies. No cold.
Oh, you can click back up on the top if you want to have it bigger. But I mean, it's up to you.
Okay.
All right, so we put, and I actually probably put a whole tablespoon in there, honestly, because I did 2 of them because I don't pay attention. So whenever you're cooking all this stuff, you're gonna want to go ahead and put in your seasoning. So I use this Saltgrass 7 Spice mainly because I work there and I waited tables there for a long time, and it's delicious. And I used to just take this from there because they put it on the tables for people.
Yeah.
But now I have to buy it, and you can buy it at the grocery store. So if anybody needs this, you can get it at, I think Kroger and Brookshire's both have it. So you can get it at either one of those.
Love
Saltgrass. I know that everyone doesn't have a Brookshire's locally because it's more of a smaller town thing.
Yeah, we don't have one near us.
So.
But you said, what else did you say?
Kroger.
Okay.
Kroger will carry it too. What is that? There's a definitely a delay on our video, so if you ask a question, we'll get to it in a second. It's mainly because we are live, and for whatever reason, it's streaming slower to the computer and to Dane's phone.
Should I turn mine off so it doesn't?
I don't think that matters, right?
Are you on Wi-Fi?
That is.
That's not?
That's not.
Okay. Yeah, so it shouldn't matter.
It shouldn't matter. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of salt and pepper. And then I'm just gonna stir it up and let it cook for a second. While that is cooking, I have my cooled baked potatoes, and I'm gonna just go ahead and peel those, and I have a trash bowl that I will put everything into, so that way it doesn't get, so I don't have to walk back and forth. So again, these were baked. I baked them for about 45 minutes to an hour, and then I wrap them in foil. That's what I do when I do my baked potatoes. You can also just do it in the microwave if you want. I just was making other videos earlier, so just let it go while I was doing that, and then I just had to come and take them out. So you can make them in the microwave if you want, and just let them cool off for a second before you put them in the fridge. Then just until they're at least room temperature, so that way the potatoes are not falling apart. Because if I tried to peel this while it was still hot, not only would my hands be on fire, but also the potato would just completely fall apart.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter what size, whenever you cut them, it doesn't matter what size they are. It can be all different sizes, because you are just going to, some of them are going to break up, which is fine, and some of them are going to stay together, and those are going to be your chunks. So the potato is a starch, and it's going to thicken it up naturally. I use just a little bit of flour whenever I do this, and so I'll show you guys that. So, and I normally just cut them as I put them into the pot, because it's just easier for me that way. So far this is what it looks like, and this is just the bacon, carrots, onions, and this saltgrass seasoning, some garlic, and salt and pepper. So that's all that's in there so far. Here in a minute I'll add the flour, and I'm gonna go ahead and peel this. Does anybody have any questions for Dane about credit repair or anything? Because everybody's going to be different. Some of y'all might need it, some of y'all might not. So you need to know how to boost your score. Like, even if you're not trying to buy a house, are you trying to buy a car? Are you trying to get a credit card? Are you trying to finance furniture? Are you, all of those things, you have to have credit, or, if you don't want to get screwed on the interest rate, for sure you have to have good credit to do that. Dane has also partnered with me to do the single moms program that I'm doing. So for any single moms out there, I am rebating your credit repair at closing. So that's my gift to you. And Dane's gonna take care of you and make sure that your credit gets enough to buy a house. And then whenever you buy that house at the closing table, I will give you that money back. And that is, I don't have to do that. That is just a gift from me to you.
That's
because
awesome.
I love single moms, and I've been where you're at before, and I know what it's like to not have any support.
Yeah.
And to be able to do this is really cool for me, anyways, because I've wanted to be able to give back, but I just couldn't figure out how. And then one day it just came to me.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's awesome that you're doing that. Most realtors, I don't know of any realtors that are doing that. So I hope if you're watching this, you take advantage of that.
Yeah, I mean, I did another video for my business page too, and I would have thought that I would have already gotten some response back, but I've only got one person that asked about it.
Yeah.
And so, but that, I mean, that's okay. It's like I said in the video that I shared from my business page, it's a gift that keeps on giving, so I'll do it as long as I'm a realtor. So that, you know, that's the good news, is that if you don't take advantage of it right this minute, then, but I know that like income tax is coming, and I know single moms, you normally get something back. So if you want to put that to work for you, you know, give me a call, and then, you know, you'll still get the money back. It's not like you can use it for your down payment, or, you know, you can use it for your credit repair, and then you'll still get it back at the end. I wish I could just pay for it for you, but unfortunately,
doesn't work that way.
I'm not made out of money.
Yeah. It doesn't quite work that way.
So it doesn't work that way. All right, so this is good. So the onions are just soft and the carrots are soft. So this is what it, if you can see that through the steam, this is what it looks like. And so I'm gonna put a few tablespoons of flour just to thicken it up. It doesn't give it any flavor, it doesn't do anything. And guys, obviously if this stuff is not exactly what, like, I'm gonna taste it, and if it doesn't taste right, I'm gonna add some more seasoning, or if it's not thick enough, I'm gonna add a little bit more of some flour. So just play with it. That's what I do. Y'all saw, if you watched my Santa show, you saw that my cookies were an absolute mess. And so but it was okay, they still tasted good.
Yeah.
So, and Santa Claus still ate them.
Yeah.
So, you know, actually he said they were.
He would know, because he eats a lot of cookies.
He actually said that they were like some of the best cookies that he had when he tasted them, because they were, they had like a cake texture, because I made them wrong. So, and I was reading the recipe right off of the package of Nestle Toll House, but Santa Claus made me nervous, guys. I mean, I just don't know what to say.
You just want to make sure you're on his good side.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I was like, Santa, I'll make you some more cookies if these aren't good enough for you.
What does it take?
You know, like, but Santa Claus was good to me this year. I got the set of Game of Thrones books.
Ooh.
Yeah, the whole set.
Wow.
And the nice ones too, like the leather ones. And I got some dragon eggs.
What is that?
So, do you watch Game of Thrones?
No.
You've never watched it. So there's a lady on there, she's the mother of dragons, and she is able, you know, it's obviously sci-fi, so she's able to, somebody gives her some dragon eggs, and she walks through the fire with them, or she goes into the fire, and she comes out, and she's like naked, but not that that has anything to do with it. It's just like one of those, it's an HBO show, so, but then the dragons hatch out of them. So mine are actually just candles, they're not actual dragon eggs, but, you know, it would be cool if they were.
That's funny. Well, I haven't seen it, but I know like it's like one of the most popular shows, so people watching know what you're talking about. Noah literally had to make me watch it. So I didn't want to watch it at first, and he just kind of sat me down and was like, you're going to watch this. And then finally, like and it takes a while to get into, so like by like the 8th or 9th episode, I was like, luckily I got to just keep watching them, and then I only had to wait for, I think, seasons 1 through 5 were out, so then I just had to wait for the other one. But it's ending next year, so like this one that's coming up, and they're making us wait a really long time for it. Like, I hate that.
It's been almost 2 years since the last episode. Like by the time it airs, it'll be 2 years since the last one, because they actually travel to, and I guess they don't use a green screen for a lot of stuff, so they actually go when it's snowing somewhere and do the scenes.
Yeah, so there's a lot to it.
Yeah, so it's
Big
just
time production.
Yeah, and their last season, the episodes were like, some of them were 2 hours. So, but they had a shorter season. So where there was like 9, 10, there was only like, I think there was only 6 the last season. So it's more of it's almost like watching a mini movie every time. All right, so I put a few tablespoons of flour in. I am now going to add some heavy whipping cream. I'm just gonna put the whole thing in there. And this is 32 ounces, so it's gonna be 4 cups. 4 cups of heavy cream.
So Jeremy asked a question. He said that he got an eviction in 2014, moving to San Diego in 2 weeks, and he said, is it gonna follow me? So evictions are kind of tough, because we can work to get them off your credit report. We get evictions removed off of credit reports all the time. Problem is a lot of apartment complexes have another database that they go and they find that information. You know, so if you have an eviction or a broken lease, something like that on your, or that's happened, even if we're able to get it off your credit report, that improves your credit scores. That's good for your credit report.
Right.
But they have another database, another way of looking, and so that's really something you're going to want to get worked out. If you give me a call, we can kind of talk about it and put together a game plan. I can get you in touch with somebody who can try to help you work with a lot of attorneys and stuff like that. That maybe there's something that you can get worked out. Obviously, paying it, but sometimes that's 4 years old at this point.
Sometimes it just doesn't.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you pay something, it makes it look worse, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
on your credit report.
Yes, on the report, not like to the person that you owe the money to. Obviously, it looks really good to them when you paid it after 4 years in full. But on your credit report, it would look worse, right?
Yeah, it would. It could. Yeah, it absolutely could. Especially if it's 4 years old.
And you're trying to get it removed, so now you're saying that you have the debt, or you had the debt whenever you paid it.
Yeah, it just updates the date, makes it look like it's a newer negative account. Instead of a 4-year-old debt, now you got a debt that looks like it's brand new.
Yeah.
But as far as just taking care of it so you can get into another apartment, a lot of times you have to pay it. With it being that old, though, you might be able to find a place that will be willing. I mean, stuff happens.
So when I did my credit repair, and it wasn't with Dane, it was with somebody else that made it take a lot longer than probably Dane would. But when I did my credit repair, they told me that evictions actually aren't supposed to go on your credit report because it's something to do with the court system, I don't know how true that is, but mine got removed.
Good.
From that, and it wasn't really an eviction. I moved out. It was mainly a broken lease, I guess.
Yeah,
so
just left early.
Same difference, it still affects your credit, but things happen, so sometimes life happens.
Stick it out and stay in the same place.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy to help. We do free consultations. We'll figure something out. So give us a call.
Yeah. So I am still peeling these potatoes. I'm almost done though. So like I said, I had a 5-pound bag and baked and cooled them off in the fridge and got them to where they were not soft anymore. So this is what they look like when it's done. And you just I use a regular knife instead of a peeler in this case because if you use a peeler, everything's gonna stick in it and kind of get clogged. I'm gonna wash my hands and then I'll continue. Okay, so I put the heavy cream in, and so
starting to look good.
It's starting to look really good, like actually like soup.
Like soup.
Can everybody see it? Hopefully, yeah, I think y'all can see it. There you go.
I'll just post your address and these people can come over and.
I don't know if I have enough for them. Y'all bring extra and I'll cook it for you. Nobody wants to drive out here anyways if they're not in Quinlan.
I don't know. This food smells pretty good. Might be worth it.
So Dane is feeling not so well tonight, and he didn't cancel on me, and so yay for Dane. Thank you, Dane.
Well, excited to. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So if you guys have any requests on things that you want to see me cook with my guests in the next few weeks, you can comment those below, and I'll be happy to get those ready for you. So I'm going to use a full one, but for some reason I had 2 halves, so I'm going to go ahead and get rid of those. But this is chicken stock, and it is also 32 ounces, so that would also be 4 cups, right? 8 ounces a cup. Yeah, okay. I'm not good at math, so good thing I'm not a lender.
Yeah, it's not your job.
So it's basically just equal parts. So if you want to if you don't want to make this much, if you just want to make a little bit, you can cut it down and use 2 cups and 2 cups. You just want to, and make sure that you leave enough room in for the potatoes, because I have a bad habit of filling up the pot too much, and then when I go to put the potatoes in, it's like too much. Yeah. So
New York strip, that sounds good.
New York strip does sound good.
I'll come back for that.
That's not gonna be a really quick show though, unless you eat your steak medium rare. Or well done. That's the only way it would take really long.
Yeah, my wife likes everything well done, so I have to pull mine off way early and go back out there and wait on hers to cook.
Well, you should really put hers on first, so that way yours is hot. See, Dane's learning something new.
I am. I'm terrible at cooking, so I've learned a lot already.
Yeah. So All right, so this is what it looks like. It looks like it's a little bit thin, but like I said before, oh, eggs Benedict. Ooh, yeah, that sounds good too. I've actually never made that, so I might have to try that to make it first before I come on. Well, I mean, I don't care if I mess it up. Obviously, I'll saw my cookies. Okay, so this is, it looks a little like it's gonna be thin, but like I told y'all, the potatoes are gonna thicken it up too, and the cheeses too. So this is ready to go now. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit and let it boil, because if you don't let it at least boil a little bit, then, what does that say?
Who won the surprise bag?
Oh, mom won it, sis. Mom won the surprise bag. So if you want it, you can just fight her for it. I'm sure you'll beat her up. So, so this is ready to go. I'm just gonna add some cheese to it. This is what it looks like. You can see kind of the bacon fat.
I don't feel like I have had it, because it looks like they have it at like, isn't there like a Baker's Brothers restaurant or food place? It's kind of like Jason's Deli or something.
Baker's Brothers is like a barbecue place.
Well, there's something else.
Saltcross has baked potato soup.
Okay, I've had it.
He's probably had it. He said he hadn't had it before, but I'm pretty sure he has.
Someone said, "Where's your hairnet?"
My hairnet? I'm not in a restaurant. I'm in my house.
For her. Maybe he's talking to me.
Oh, Greg Love. Love Greg. Is that your first name or your last name? I'm not sure who. I think I know that person, but so I'm cooking for people at my house. I'm not cooking in a restaurant, or I would have on. Actually, I wouldn't have on hairnet. I would probably have on like a hat.
Yeah.
I don't
like
do
a chef hat.
I don't do hairnets. So I'm gonna add some cheese in here. You add that and then you just let it melt. So I just put it in here. This is there's 8 cups in here. So I'm gonna say that I'm putting 4, because I'm probably gonna put like half the bag in here. I mean, at least I wash my hands before, after I put them in my mouth, you know.
That's funny. I'm trying to see. Put better pressure.
Okay.
Under pressure.
I mean, I'm under pressure all the time.
Yeah. Drive under pressure.
Exactly. I mean, that's what happens. That's what us realtors do. We just
this one's so delayed because I'm talking about something.
Yeah. Oh, I'm still putting the heavy cream on the video. You're still putting the heavy cream in. That was so long ago. So, I just added about 4 cups of cheese. For those of you who are watching, we are making baked potato soup. There's bacon, there's onions, there's carrots, there is heavy cream, there's chicken stock, there's garlic, there's, am I forgetting something? Saltgrass 7 spice, salt, pepper.
And the best ingredient.
And bacon. Oh, how did I leave that out? Oh my gosh.
Yes.
And so I cooked the bacon. I put some to the side so we can use that later to put on top of it. So it's like you get to use it twice. That's amazing.
This is torture, just being this close to it, not being able to eat it.
Yeah. I bet it is. So normally I'm like snacking while I'm eating or while I'm cooking. Because that's just how you do it. That's how you do it. You have to taste your food and
right there,
all that. So, all right. I'm gonna taste this really quick to make sure that it tastes like it should before I put the potatoes in, because once those go in, you don't have a whole lot of time. I mean, you can.
Oh yeah, you were saying you can't leave them in very long. Yeah.
If you leave them in, you can, but if you leave them in too long, then that's the more they're gonna break up. So, I think I need a little bit more of this. This is like, need a little bit more of that. And that, I said a little bit, but I actually put quite a bit in there. So, and I'm gonna put a little bit more cheese too. So, this is really good. Like a lot of my family asks for this, and it will feed a lot. And you can double the recipe, you can half the recipe, and it works any way you want. Just don't cheap out on the bacon. Just just put as much of that in there as you want. All right, so I'm just gonna cut these potatoes and drop them in, and then let it simmer for a few minutes, and then it will be done. So it does, like I said, it doesn't matter what size. You can cut them in half, and then put them in there, and then just be careful because it will splash on you. So, or you can quarter them if you want. So you want some of them to break up. So you want to do them all different sizes, ideally. So then I'll do like some quarters, and then I'll in a minute I'll just put big chunks in there. So that way the ones that you that don't break up, you can have. And once this is done, I just garnish it with green onions, a little bit of cheese. You can do sour cream if you want. It's already really creamy though, so I don't really do that. And then bacon, and mainly that's just for looks. It still tastes good without all those things.
Yeah, that's just to make it look professional.
Yeah, that's just, if you want it to look like it came from a restaurant, then you just garnish it, pretty much. So
it's an art.
It is. And does anybody have any questions about the what was I gonna say? Oh, about the recipe itself.
They'll come in later because they're delayed.
Oh yeah, they are delayed. Okay, so hopefully, if you have a question and I haven't answered it, I'm sorry, and I'll answer them here in a little bit for you. Tomorrow morning by the latest. Because I am gonna eat this at some point.
This will get eaten.
Yes. And Dane's sick, so he came at the right time for soup.
Yeah.
Oh, you probably can't taste it though, right?
I don't know.
He's like, I don't know.
Today. I've just been working, so I don't know. Rushed over here.
So can you go home and make this for your wife now? Was it easy?
I will call you. I'll put you on FaceTime and walk me. No, I think I got it. I'll watch the video back. I think I got it.
This is it's pretty simple, yeah. And so
just getting the right portions and stuff might be hard.
For y'all. Well, so just so you know, you can actually not with the potatoes in, but if you made too much of the sauce, you can freeze it and pull it out. Like I think you have to use it like within a month or so, but like you could do it a couple weeks later. Yeah. And I think for some people that would work. My kids will finish this off tomorrow if it doesn't get finished tonight. So, but I'll let you take some home to your wife if you want.
Thanks.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. So, I'm just putting the rest of these in, and I'm trying to focus so I don't take too long. Thank you guys so just so you know, the contest for next week is for the $30 gift card. I'll go ahead and say that again for those who just tuned in. All you have to do is like our business pages, which should be up at the top of the post, and share the video to be entered. Make sure you make it public so that way when you share it, I can see it. I actually had to go to a friend today and ask her who shared the video on her page because I couldn't find it. It wouldn't let me view who shared it from her page. So that is always good. Also, note to self, the whisk.
Borracho beans.
Borracho beans? Yeah, I can make borracho beans. I have to do those in the Instant Pot though. And I haven't gotten good at making beans in the Instant Pot yet because on New Year's Eve I tried to make black eyed peas in them, and I overcooked them. They're still edible, but they were very, very, very soft. So yes, I can. It just, those kind of take a lot longer to cook normally. And if you want them to be good, I might have to just do them on the stove because otherwise they might be overcooked. I still haven't gotten used to the whole Instant Pot thing. I use it for meal prepping, but I don't really use it for a whole lot of other stuff because I haven't gotten used to things cooking that quick. Yeah. Because it cooks fast. Like those black eyed peas normally take at least 45 minutes to an hour to cook, and they were completely soft, like almost mushy. Well, they were a little bit mushy, like they're still, but and in like 15-20 minutes. So it does cook super fast, and you can actually put a whole meal in there. So that's good. All right, so I'm just gonna let this simmer for a few minutes and let the potatoes break up, but y'all can I can't really tilt it that much, but I think you can see it. Yeah, y'all can see it from up here because it's up top.
Oh yeah, look, that's what they're seeing.
Oh yeah, you can see it. So you can see the chunks of potatoes in there. You can see the carrots a little bit, so I didn't hide them too well from the kids. But I'm gonna show y'all now. I'm gonna cut up a green onion, and I'm gonna show you how you can actually just let it grow again just by sticking it in a glass of water, honestly.
Oh.
That's all you have to do. So I'll cut these up for a garnish while we're waiting on, So do you guys like live cooking shows better or just the regular ones that come on Food Network? Because, you know, one day I might be like the Pioneer Woman, so I just need to know that.
Well, this has to be better because you're getting to ask questions. It's interactive.
Right.
You learn more that way.
I feel like you would. So in order to be able to regrow them, you're gonna cut them like right here. You can't really see. I mean, you can see. So you're gonna cut them like right here, where it's still kind of. I don't know how to explain that. Like the lighter part, when it starts getting darker, you can just cut it off like right there. And then you just take them and you put them in a clear cup. Just a small one will be fine. You could use a mason jar if you don't have a clear cup. And you just put some water in there and stick them in. And then like next week, they'll be regenerated and you can use them again.
Nice.
So useful tip if you're, like to do things like that. And they're not even, it doesn't produce as many, I guess you would say, but it's enough for like a salad or a baked potato if you're eating that, or a garnish. So I'm just gonna cut these, and then I'm gonna show y'all how to garnish it, and then we're gonna be done for tonight. So, like I said, if you guys ask questions and I didn't get to answer them, or if you have any requests, just comment those below. I will be glad to answer them later on. If you have any questions for Dane, he can answer those.
Yep, I'll be checking back
You can also, if you have a specific question that you don't want everybody on Facebook to know, you can just private message Dane. His information is he's tagged in the post. So, just send him a private message, because I know that some people get weirded out about talking about who about their credit. It is personal, and it's and sometimes it's a little bit embarrassing, but you don't know what you don't know, so you can private message either of us if you don't feel comfortable talking to Dane. You can contact me, and then I can ask him for you or whatever.
Whatever works best.
Don't forget, the drawing for next week is for a $30 Visa gift card, and I will do the drawing for that at the beginning of next week's show. So here's the green onions. That's what they look like when they're cut up. I mean, that wasn't very hard. That's all I'm using. So this looks so good. I can't wait to eat it. I'm only eating carbs on Wednesdays, so it's like yum.
Perfect timing.
Perfect timing. I'm eating carbs just for you guys. You're welcome.
Got some bad news. Peter says it's kids' bedtime.
Oh, they're fine. There's no school tomorrow.
Okay.
So the kids' bedtime is supposed to be 8 o'clock, and I tried to use my Google Calendar to send me reminders to do things, but I've realized that I still just get the notification and don't do it.
Yeah.
So I've switched back to a paper planning calendar and doing it that way. And then one thing that I learned to do is to just make a list of the 5 most important things that I need to get done that day. And when I do them, I feel really good about like just getting them done. And they don't always have to be work related. They can be just like, I can put my home stuff on there too. Yeah. So as long as I get those 5 things done, I feel like it was a productive day. And so that's like, you just kind of give yourself a mental win. And that was just a tip for you for, anybody that's feeling like they're not doing enough or not getting stuff done. A lot of the problem is that you're trying to do too much in a day. You're trying to do too much in a day, and so you overwhelm yourself before you even get started. So to-do lists are totally not they're actually not as cool as you might think. You want to have a task, you don't want to call it a to-do list, because that means you can get to it when you can. I'll get to this next step, and you try to just go down this list, and you might have 20 things on a to-do list. So you can still have those, but you need to have a task list for that day of your top 5 things to do. And so fill whatever you need to do in there. And so that's how I kind of do it. But I did switch back to paper just because I felt like I get the notification of what I'm supposed to be doing, and if I'm already doing something else, it's like it doesn't matter. So every day I get up, I look in my planner. Well, first I have a miracle morning per se. I spend an hour of time to myself before the kids get up, which helps me function throughout the day, and I'm a lot nicer to them when I wake them up.
So love it then.
Yeah, so it's better for them. And then once I get them up, I come back downstairs and I just write down my top 5 things that I need to do that day, and it just helps me be more productive. So this is done. So I'm just gonna put some in a bowl. Dane gets to try it first. So I'm just gonna put some in a bowl for him, and y'all can watch him try it, I guess.
Thank you.
So the pressure's on. He might not be able to taste it, so if he doesn't get a good reaction. Dane knows Deborah. We did a buyer seminar. Yep. I made her taste my shrimp and grits, and she does not eat stuff like that at all. Like she eats like a 5-year-old. So, but she was like, so she didn't even eat any shrimp. She just ate like a piece of it, like a little bite of the grits.
Oh my gosh.
And then, but I was like, was it good? And she's like, it tastes like a restaurant meal. Like that's what she, like, because I asked her, I'm like, what do you go? She said she's gonna order Mexican food when she goes out to Mexican places. She gets like the kids' chicken strip meal.
Oh no.
I'm like, how do you do that? So, but just so you know, my kids eat this. They love it. So, this is, I'm gonna put a little bit of cheese on there. Oh, Daniel's watching. Daniel was one of my first time home buyers this year.
Oh, cool.
Him and his fiance, I believe. So they bought a house back in May, and they just love me. I mean, I just love them. So, so ask Daniel if you need a recommendation for a realtor, and he's gonna say me. Hopefully, I'm just kidding. He's gonna say me. All right. So this is what it looks like. The finished product.
Looks amazing.
We are done for the night. Don't forget to like our business pages and share the video and to be entered into next week's drawing. Mom, I will get this surprise bag to you since you won, and I don't have to buy you a birthday gift. Y'all have a good night. I'll see you next week, and we're gonna eat now. Bye.
Have a good night.